Spring 2023 anime Demon Slayer, Swordsmith Village arc is here. Picks up where the Mugen Train arc left off in last season's finale. Daki's siblings are killed, Ibushiki Kaguya is seriously ill, what hasn't changed in 100 years has changed. This refers to Tanjiro and his men killing upper ranks. The opening scene is Infinity Castle. As the camera pans around, it stops in front of Akaza. The fact that he's here means that something big has happened. Upper ranks has been killed by Kisatsutai. He then leaps, and starts free falling. Soon he is in the sky above Infinity Castle. He then continued his descent, and landed firmly on the ground. Then a building acted like a train. It took him to his destination. Akaza wished it had been DMA, who had been killed, with a biwa from Nakim. This time they too had reached the center of the rendezvous. Doma thought Kokushibo cared for her. A jade jug on the side began to twitch, and out of it crawled the upper rank 5 with eyes in their mouths. Gyokko's 2 mouths are useful. He comes up and taunts, thinking it's Akaza who's been killed. A short distance away, a crack in the stairs, an old, ugly-looking man muttered, "Gyokko, you are too old, can't count anymore. It's been 113 years since we've seen each other." He is Hantengu of the upper rank 4. 113 is an odd number, and it's bad luck to divide it all. Akaza finally relented. He said indifferently. He asked Nakim if Muzan has come yet. The answer was not yet. Suddenly the most annoying person to Akaza appeared. The self-made man slammed his hand on his shoulder. He's no match for Gyokko's sarcasm. He's DMA from upper rank 2. Then he started greeting himself. He teases Gyokko about the nice pot he gave him last time. He put a woman's head in it, and placed it in the room. Akaza finally got fed up with his talk. A punch to DMA's jaw. But they were demons after all. Neither could do anything to the other. DMA doesn't forget to tease Akaza once more. Nakim suddenly said, "Upper rank 1, was the first to arrive." He had been staying in a room far away. He is Kokushibo of upper rank 1, and he said, Muzan had arrived. As a drop of blood fell, Muzan appeared upside down on the ceiling. On the table are all sorts of strange petri dishes. A drop of blood flashes through a myriad of demons and falls into a test tube. "The blood for upper ranks is ready," he said indifferently. "Is Jutaro dead?" The demons who had been taught a lesson fell to their knees in fear. Doma was the first to step forward, offering to take the blame. "Should I thank him for his eyeballs? After all, he was the one who introduced Jutaro to them." Muzan said, "Your eyeballs are useless." He already knew Jutaro would fail. Daki was a stumbling block, but all that doesn't matter anymore. Seemingly calm, Muzan was really miserable. He had no hope for more ghosts left in the human part. Doma said he hadn't let Muzan down. This angered Muzan again. The Ibushiki family is still alive and well. He hadn't seen the blue flower he was looking for. "I've got a dog that brings me back a few pounds of bones. Hundreds of years and you can't even manage a few things. What do you think I need you for?" Those who are afraid of death have already started to kneel and kowtow. Those who can talk have already started apologizing. Only Gyokko, he said, had got the information. The next moment Muzan's face changed. He hates change. Gyokko's head, somehow it had appeared in Muzan's hand. He hated all change. Change was the same as decay to him. The only thing that remains constant is change. Gyokko rushed to lick Muzan before he was let go, and then Muzan gave him some tough words. Gyokko was told to make sure he had the information and go with Hantengu. With that, he left Infinity Castle in seclusion. Doma rushed to grab Gyokko's head. He said he also wanted to go with him. Akaza came over and shot him in the head, the loudest. "Did Muzan tell you to do something?" The next thing I knew, Muzan's hand was gone. Kokushibo finally moved on. Doma thought Kokushibo cared about her, but apparently that's not going to happen. He only cares about the rankings, and when the time comes to mess up relations, if Akaza is not convinced, if Akaza doesn't like the idea of a ranking battle, Doma's mouth is really bad, saying Akaza wouldn't dare. He became a demon later than him, now he's doing better than him. Even if he brought it up, he couldn't beat us. I didn't hide on purpose. The more I said that, the more I made Akaza angry. Kokushibo made Akaza understand what he was saying. Akaza clenched his fist. He said he would kill Kokushibo. Akaza didn't care at all. Kokushibo's six-eyed warning, said that and left. Hantengu also left with Nakim's teleportation. Doma saw that he couldn't follow Gyokko, and the others immediately started to molest Nakim. With the sound of the lute, Doma was transported back to his usual place. He continued to be his godfather. On the other hand, Tanjiro dreamed of his ancestors' memories. Sumiyoshi appeared with afternoon tea. The man next to him is called Yorichi Tsujikuni. With his help, Sumiyoshi's wife was able to give birth, but Yorichi felt that he was a freeloader. Sumiyoshi wanted to pass on his story, but Yorichi told him there was no need. He failed to protect what he had to protect. he failed to do everything he was supposed to do, he was a useless man. Tanjiro shouted his benefactor's name in his sleep. He didn't want his benefactor to belittle him. Then he woke up with tears in his eyes. Kanea saw Tanjiro wake up. Tanjiro's flower pot shattered in fear. Tanjiro had been in a coma for over 2 months. Kakushibo told him to work hard and left. At that moment a man called Goto. Akaza didn't care at all about Kakushibo's 6 warnings in his eyes. He was about to bring Tanjiro cake. He also left. He was also a good match for Tanjiro. Gyuko and Hantengu, how many times they were with him. He was the one who finally found Tanjiro and the others. I hoped to wake Tanjiro up with the aroma of the cake, but as soon as he reached the door, he saw a broken vase. Kanea was more senior than him. He was too angry to say anything, but he had to clean it up quietly. When he was done, he had to give the cake to Kanea. He said he'd eat it when he woke up. If you can't, he'll have to eat it or it'll spoil. But to his surprise, Tanjiro was already awake. As soon as everyone heard that Tanjiro had woken up, they all gathered around. Everyone saved Tanjiro from the worst injuries. Zenitsu woke up the next day. Reluctantly, he went back to war. Sound Hashira, he was helped by his 3 wives to walk back on his own. Everyone was impressed. Just say something. With 3 wives and still so strong, Inosuke's situation was the worst. I said, I can't help crying again. Tanjiro thought Inosuke was dead. He didn't expect to see him on the ceiling. Inosuke's IQ is still impressive, bragging that he woke up 7 days before Tanjiro. Kids say they see the honeypot in the book. Inosuke is not afraid of lions or snakes, just like him. Tanjiro has been doing rehab every day. After months of no exercise he was almost paralyzed. Soon Tanjiro was back on his feet. He likes to play with his children by holding them up. Suddenly it occurred to him that his knife was broken. Did someone send him a new one? The 3 men seemed to be in sudden shock. They said they had a letter from Tanjiro. I don't have a knife for you. It's unforgivable. The last time the knife broke, Hotori Hagenezuka almost killed Tanjiro. The 3 of them thought it was normal for a sword to break in battle. They asked Tanjiro to come to the village and talk to him. The Lord agreed with Tanjiro. Send someone to lead the way. The village of swords is a very important place. Eyes and ears must be sealed. For those with a keen sense of smell like Tanjiro, you can have your nose painted too. As Swordsmith village is such an important location, you have to change every so often. Tanjiro on his back, you keep changing people. The route is changing too. Only the crows in the sky kept guiding, and Tanjiro's thanks are too loud. Tanjiro's voice was too loud. Mitsuri Kamajiri, who was soaking in the hot spring, heard him.